Hello, it's Elena here. Welcome back. Today we are going to embark on a deep exploration of a concept that has the potential to fundamentally shift your reality. We are talking about the invisible dynamics of attraction, specifically, how you can change the way you connect with high-quality women, regardless of your age or your past experiences. And before we go any further, I want to dismantle a myth that holds so many good men back. There is a pervasive belief in modern society that attraction is a transaction. You're told that if you don't have the 6-pack abs, the 7-figure bank account, or the sports car, you are invisible. You're told that you need to memorize complex pickup lines or play mind games to get attention. I am here to tell you that is absolute nonsense. The truth is much more fascinating. Attraction isn't about what you have, it is about who you are and how you communicate that essence to the world. There are specific linguistic triggers, psychological keys, that bypass the logical, analytical part of the female brain and speak directly to the emotional center. These triggers activate a deep, biological sense of safety, curiosity, and intrigue. I'm going to share two very specific phrases with you today. On the surface, they seem incredibly simple. You might hear them and think, that's it? But do not be deceived. The power lies not in the words themselves, but in the communication beneath them. I will explain the science, the psychology, and the nuance that separates the men women forget from the men women dream about. Stay with me until the very end, because we are going to dissect the critical mistake, the one detail that 90% of men miss, which turns these powerful tools into useless noise. Let's get real for a moment. I have spent years studying interaction dynamics, listening to women talk about what actually moves them. And do you know what the consistent pattern is? The men who are truly magnetic, the ones who command attention without shouting, aren't necessarily the models. They are the men who have mastered intentional communication. Most men are drifting through their interactions. They are spinning their wheels in safe, sterile, empty conversations. They are tiptoeing around, trying to be nice, trying not to offend, trying to figure out what she wants so they can mirror it. They are chameleons, blending in to avoid rejection. But the man who stands out, he does something radically different. He stops trying to blend in. He uses two phrases that act as anchors in the conversation. These words leverage a concept psychologists call positive emotional resonance. So let's break this down. The first phrase is, I desire, or, in its more conversational and versatile form, I want. Now I need you to really listen to why this works, because it goes against everything you've been taught about being polite. When a man says, I want, with clarity and calmness, a massive psychological shift occurs in the interaction. First and foremost, he is taking radical responsibility for his own existence. He is not asking for permission to have a preference. He is not testing the waters to see if it's safe to speak. He is being direct. Here is the secret of female psychology that most dating coaches won't tell you. Women are exhausted by decision fatigue. In a world where they have to be in charge of their careers, their safety, and their social lives, they are often craving a partner who can take the wheel. They are attracted to men who know what they want because it signals leadership. It signals that you are capable of navigating the world. It signals that you won't dump the emotional labor of choosing a restaurant, a date time, or the direction of the relationship onto her shoulders. Think about the standard approach. A man says, I don't know, what do you feel like doing? We could maybe grab coffee or dinner if you're not too busy. What is the subtext of that sentence? It screams insecurity. It communicates, I am afraid you will say no, so I am leaving it vague. It communicates a lack of direction. It kills the tension. Now contrast that with this. I want to take you to this incredible Italian spot downtown on Thursday. They have the best atmosphere, and I want to see you there. Feel the difference. It is visceral. You aren't begging, you are inviting. You aren't asking to be accepted. You are creating an experience and offering her a seat at the table. This isn't about being aggressive, domineering, or rude. It is about being assertive. It is the courage to take up space in the world and say, this is my intent. When you do this, you activate sexual polarity. You position yourself as the grounded, masculine force that takes initiative. This naturally allows her to relax into her feminine energy, where she doesn't have to plan or lead, she can just be. However, this is a double-edged sword. If you only use I want, you can quickly slide into the territory of being egocentric or demanding. If every sentence is, I want this, I want that, you sound like a taker. You sound like you are only interested in what you can extract from her. This brings us to the second half of the equation. The second phrase, the one that balances the energy and makes you irresistible, is, I value, or more commonly I appreciate, This is where the magic happens. This is where you separate yourself from the jerks and become the gentleman with an edge. When you combine "I want" with "I appreciate," you create a perfect emotional equilibrium. You show that you are a man of initiative, but you are also a man of depth and perception. Let's look at a concrete example. Imagine you are on a date. The conversation is flowing. You feel a connection. The average man might say, "You're really hot, I want to see you again." It's honest, but it's shallow. It feels cheap. Now, imagine you look her in the eyes, pause for a second, and say, "I want to see you again, because I really appreciate the way your mind works. The way you spoke about your family earlier. I appreciate that kind of loyalty. It's rare." Do you see what just happened? You didn't just express desire, you saw her. You looked past the makeup and the dress and the surface level presentation, and you acknowledged her character. This is absolutely intoxicating to the female brain. Most men only compliment appearance. They focus on the physical. But when you say, "I appreciate," and you follow it with something specific about her personality, her energy, or her intellect, you are validating her existence. You are telling her, "I see you. I understand you and I value you." And here is the most beautiful part of this dynamic when you appreciate genuinely. You flip the script on neediness. You aren't needing her to like you. You are assessing her and finding that she meets your standards. You are choosing her. Women can feel that difference from a mile away. It is the difference between a fan and a partner. A fan puts her on a pedestal. A partner meets her eye to eye. If this concept is making sense to you, please leave a like below. It helps me understand that you are committed to leveling up your communication game. Now, we must discuss the trap. The mistake that destroys all of this progress. I have seen men memorize these words, go out into the world, use them, and crash and burn. Why? Because of incongruence. Congruence is when your internal state matches your external expression. It is when your body language, your tone of voice, your eye contact, and your words are all vibrating at the same frequency. The female brain is evolutionarily wired to be a high-functioning lie detector. It picks up on micro-expressions. It senses fear. If you say, "I want to take you to dinner," but your shoulders are slumped forward, your eyes are darting at the floor, and your voice has a questioning upward inflection at the end, like you're asking for permission, the message fails.
Your body is screaming, "I am insecure.
"I am terrified," while your words are trying to project confidence. This creates a dissonance. It feels creepy or off because she senses you are hiding something. She senses you are performing a script rather than speaking your truth. So how do we fix this? When you say, "I want," you need to practice physical grounding. Stand tall, open your chest. This signals vulnerability and confidence. You aren't protecting your heart, you are exposing it. Eye contact, do not look away when you state your desire. Hold her gaze. It creates positive tension. Voice tonality. This is crucial. When you make a statement, your voice should go down at the end. "I want to take you out." Not, "I want to take you out." The downward inflection signals certainty. When you say, "I appreciate," you need to slow down. Rushing a compliment makes it sound fake, like you're just trying to get something. Pause before you speak. Look at her. Let the thought form. Speak slowly. Let the sincerity show through. "I appreciate your honesty." This depth of presence is what I detail in my complete system, the magnetic blueprint. In that guide, I don't just teach you what to say. I teach you how to calibrate your nervous system so that you can stand in that tension without folding. I teach you how to be comfortable with the silence. There is one more crucial element we need to cover: calibration and timing. Please do not become a robot. Do not go around starting every single sentence with, "I want," or "I appreciate." That is socially awkward and weird. These phrases are heavy tools. They are impact phrases. You use them in strategic moments when you want to establish intent or create an emotional memory. You don't use them to decide what toppings to put on a pizza. You use them when the stakes are real. The approach: "Hi, I saw you from across the room and I wanted to come say hello. I appreciate your style." The date setup: "I want to take you to this specific place." The deep moment: "I really appreciate how open you are being with me right now." The close: "I want to see you again." Let's look at a high-value close scenario. You've had a great date. You're walking her to her car or her door. The air is thick with potential, but also that awkward. What happens now? Energy. Most men fumble here. They shuffle their feet and say, "Well, this was fun. Maybe we do it again." The high-value man looks her in the eyes. He smiles, a genuine, warm smile. He says, "I had a great time tonight. I really appreciate the energy you bring. It's refreshing. I definitely want to see you again. Get home safe." And then he leaves. Boom, you just created a positive emotional anchor. Now, on her drive home, she isn't wondering if you like her. She knows. But she also knows you aren't desperate, because you ended the interaction on your terms. You were clear, you were kind, and you were decisive. Every time she thinks of you, she will remember that sensation of being seen, valued, and desired all at the same time. That is how you occupy real estate in her mind. This is not about manipulation. I want to be very clear about that. Manipulation is trying to get something from someone without their consent or by tricking them. What I am teaching you is authenticity. It is about having the courage to stop hiding what you want. It is about having the awareness to notice the good in others and voice it. When you strip away the games, the pickup lines, and the insecurity, you are left with two things: your desire and your appreciation. I want, I appreciate. Master these two concepts. Practice them in the mirror. Practice them with the barista. Practice them until they feel natural in your mouth. If you want to dive deeper into this, if you want to understand the non-verbal cues, the text messaging game, and the deeper psychology of attraction, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Every week, I bring you content that gives you an unfair advantage in the modern dating world. Now you have the tools. You understand the theory, but theory is useless without action. Go out there. Use these words with wisdom. Use them with integrity. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. I'll see you in the next video.